Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob Odell. To be honest with you, I have tried about 5 different ways to record this, and for some reason, my computer is not liking me this evening. So, thank you for bearing with me. I'm using Zoom, so I hope this goes well. My name is Jacob Odell. I will be discussing teacher professionalism and teacher disposition tonight with you all, based on the reading by Professor Andy Johnson. All right. Let's see. So, first off, I would like to give a brief overview about what the reading was about. Professor Johnson introduced his definition of teacher professionalism, which involved 11 different things that he thought a teacher should do to be a professional. Each person's list of qualifications to be a professional teacher would be different. Mine are actually quite similar to what Andy's is, but yours might be different than mine, and that is what is so unique about teacher professionalism. We all have different views. Um, so the next topic is the same thing. We all have different views about what a teacher disposition would be because each of us have different teacher dispositions. Dispositions are actions that can be seen that reflect a state of mind that a teacher may possess or a value that they believe in. So I find this topic to be highly important because as a teacher or really in any profession, it's quite easy to tell when someone um, is not passionate about what they do. So the drive is not there and the content that they produce does not match up to those that are truly passionate. Um, for me, being a professional teacher is so much more than just teaching students a certain subject. It is about being a role model and showing them how to carry themselves. Teachers are held to a higher standard, and for very good reason, because we're teaching the future leaders of America. So hopefully we can teach them with dignity and respect in class. So um, teacher professionalism. What does a professional teacher look like? First, I will go into what I view as the definition of teacher professionalism. My definition is someone who carries themselves in a way, like I said, that a student may be able to look at themselves as, or look at their teacher as a role model. A professional teacher is someone who is the embodiment of ideal character, positive attitude, integrity, honesty, and respect. Becoming a professional teacher takes time, hard work, dedication, commitment, and further education. A truly professional teacher never stops learning about how they can better themselves as an educator. Why it's important. We all need to figure out what is our reason why we're doing this, and we truly need to excel at it, and that's what makes teacher professionalism so important for each individual teacher. So the next topic was teacher disposition. um, a teaching disposition is something that a teacher possesses that makes the teacher a valuable asset in the classroom and with students. So teacher dispositions are different to every person. Um, they are those values that people cannot see, so to speak, but they are visible by the way a teacher carries his or herself. Teacher dispositions are influenced by your own values and your own teaching philosophy, which is something that you need to figure out throughout your time as a teacher. So the 6 dispositions that I possess are commitment, kindness, respect, empathy, flexibility, and forgiveness. So now I will go back and talk to you about each of them and how I show them. So commitment, this to me means I will fight for my students and will do everything in my power to make sure they receive everything they deserve. I will show up to school each day with a purpose, and that purpose would be to commit myself to giving my students the best education that I am possible of giving on that given day. Kindness means to me that I will be a kind-hearted individual and I will be friendly at all times. I expect to be someone that helps people feel better about themselves and draws out the positives in each person and helps them find those positives. The third one, respect. I will show to my students that no matter our differences, I see them as a human being, and that is how human beings are supposed to interact. To be respectful towards each other is one of the highest compliments, and to show that in the classroom is the most important thing when trying to gain a student's trust. Empathy. When I think of my favorite teachers, I think of empathic people. They care, they are non-judgmental, they listen, and most importantly, they understand. They understand that things happen and that they are able to put themselves in their students' shoes to see and understand how they feel. This is something that I feel like I personally excel the most at, and that my students feed off of that. Um, Flexibility, one of the most important aspects of being a special education teacher in general is being flexible. You absolutely never know what the next day will bring you. So, as much as structure is relied upon in special ed, sometimes the structure is the unpredictability and the go with the flow attitude that we all develop. Um, it is not, it is important to not lose your cool, so being flexible makes it easier to just be okay that some things may happen differently than what you expected. And lastly, forgiveness. I added this one at the very last minute, but this is one that I myself have had to learn in my own life. So to model it for my students and to show that forgiveness does not just happen is a lesson that every person should learn. It's also important to learn that forgiveness isn't for you, isn't for the other person, it's for you to move on from the situation. Um, we all know students go through things in their lives, and it's important for us to model forgiveness so that they can see that it's possible. So I will leave you with these two questions. What would your teacher professionalism definition be? And what are some examples of a professional teacher that you would include? And finally, list 5 teacher dispositions that describe you as a teacher. Thank you very much. I'm going to figure out how to stop recording this, and have a great evening.